Folks, I would like to introduce Stacey Boraas, who's going to be sharing her own personal story with us this evening. And just a warning to say that Stacey is talking about her real life experience, so it might be emotive to some people. And if anyone does require any additional support, please do reach out to us after the webinar. And I will hand over to Stacey to share her story. Thanks, Stacey.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. So basically, my journey began many years ago when I was told that I'm more susceptible to getting melanoma due to being a natural redhead. I had a few what they call precancerous moles removed and biopsied, but never really needed any more intervention than that. However, because I did have a few precancerous moles and therefore was at higher risk, I was told that I needed to come in every 6 months. Uh, Now, during this time, I still used the tanning bed because I was fortunate enough to get my mother's beautiful Hungarian skin, which would get an amazing golden tan. But I was unaware of the DNA damage that I was doing to my skin underneath the surface. I would also lie in the sun with barely any sunscreen because I wanted that beautiful golden glow. Uh, then for about 4 years, I was faithful. I faithfully went for checkups every 6 months, only having to get a few suspicious moles biopsied, but never having any actually being diagnosed as cancerous. It wasn't until I missed one of my 6 month appointments, so it ended up being over a year that I had gone for a checkup when problems started to arise. My next mole mapping appointment after about 14 months, the dermatologist found two cancerous moles, one of which was stage 1 melanoma. This one was on my back and I couldn't even see it. Luckily, I went to go see the dermatologist when I did because I could not see nor feel this mole. I had absolutely no pain or sensation coming from this area and therefore had no idea this mole was slowly trying to kill me. My dermatologist said that if I had not removed it, that mole would have taken my life within 2 years. Sorry, it's emotional. It took him about 45 minutes to cut out all the affected tissue to ensure that he had removed all of the cancer, and about 20 stitches to sew it up afterwards. This was a pivotal moment in my life. It was a reality check and made me realize that I had to be much more careful when it comes to the sun. I threw out all my tanning items and have not stepped foot in a tanning bed again. I also make sure that I use high quality SPF sunscreen or clothing whenever I'm going to be exposed to the sun, like now when I'm actually in Mexico. After this ordeal, I thought I was in the clear because there's no way this is going to happen again now that I'm being much more careful. But as it turns out, I go back 6 months later and two more cancerous moles were detected. I had to have them surgically removed with about 22 stitches in total. Again, I had absolutely no symptoms with either of these moles. I don't know how or why they turned. I was told that the type of melanoma that I can develop doesn't necessarily need sun exposure for them to metastasize, which is the scariest factor of them all. You could be doing everything right, thinking you're in the clear because you're following all the rules, and then suddenly your body just turns on you. This is why it is so important to be checked regularly. Early detection is life-saving intervention. I highly encourage anyone watching now or a future recording of this video to sign up for the monthly emails as reminders to go get your skin checked and to also check out the mobile mole detection unit and see if it's in your area and when it might be available to you. Because I cannot stress enough, early detection truly saved my life. I reflect on this quite a bit after the diagnosis. I cried several nights thinking how lucky I was to be saved. And then I'm going to help spread the word and this message to everyone. You cannot take your skin health for granted. And just because something doesn't hurt doesn't mean it's without disease. I hope you can use my experience as an example to save you from a preventable tragedy. Thank you. That's my story.
Stacey, thank you so much for sharing your story. We know it's very personal, and we Really, really appreciate it, you taking the time to share. As I said, folks, before Stacey started to speak, we know real lived experience can be a motive. So as I've previously mentioned, if anyone has been triggered by Stacey's story, please do reach out to us after the webinar. I just want to briefly touch on some of our support services before we come to the Q&A questions. Just to let everyone know that we are available Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 for phone and email support Eastern Time. We do offer cancer coaching to anyone who has been going through a diagnosis and to caregivers. That's a one-to-one service. We also have a melanoma and skin cancer support group that meets twice a month on the first and third Wednesday of the month. Again, all details of these services are on our website. We do also offer a peer-to-peer support service where patients can be matched with a patient who's gone through a similar journey or experiences them and help them navigate through their own personal journey. We have an array of online support and community resources. We have private Facebook groups, we have online chats, live chats, patient stories, and videos in our video library. And finally, I'll just touch on our publications. Again, you'll find all of these resources on our website. You scan the QR code, or again, you can follow us on the website at melanomacanada.ca.